you will never be able to outsmart God. That's just how that is. That's just how it goes. The hands you are dealt, the cards you are dealt, it's best to just play them out, because ultimately, what do you get in the end? Particularly when it comes to this. Boys, if you are unfamiliar with what you're seeing right here, this is a lengthening process, a leg lengthening process, which, makes people taller. And as a kid, I would have loved to participate in something like this. But as an adult, I'm grateful that I didn't. I have been able to charm my way into more vaginas than quite a few people, apparently, because the national average of partners is like 7, and that number's been blown out of the water a while ago. But there's something, I guess, even more special about being able to do such a thing when, according to society, short guys, or as I would rather refer to us as compact kings, um, aren't supposed to do that well. And the thing is that ultimately, if you have a personality, right? It shines. It shines through. You're charming, you're charismatic, or as the kids like to say, you got that W Riz. Well, you'll do okay. You'll do well. And if you have L Riz, you'll have L Riz results. And I believe that will apply regardless of how tall you are. And trust, I make absolutely no mistake about the fact that, yes, women want, ultimately, women want men who are hovering over them. They want to feel small. And we live in this time where women are larger than ever. So when it comes to the aspect and angle of, like trying to increase your chances, it's completely understood. That's not to say that it's, what we do here? What do we do here? How do we end up? That's so weird. Don't do that. Okay. Back to it. So there's much to be said about the desire to change things up and want these things and to go for these things. But from my own personal position, from my own personal viewpoint, you can't outsmart God, guys. Deal is that he made you how you is for a reason, whatever that reason may be. Sometimes it's best to just deal with it and go along with it, as opposed to feeling as if, you can do better or you are a god, which a lot of these doctors who go into these things, who go into these lines of medicine, that's what they feel. They feel as if they are gods. And what they show you, particularly in advertising on TikTok and the like, is the good results. They will never show you the bodies, or in this instance, the limbs that are behind all of these good results. Because guess what, guys? No matter what it is, those eggs got to break in order to make that omelet. And ultimately, I personally would think that this is a little too new. Let's give it another few years, see the results, see the long-term results of these types of things before guys, I will always preach patience. I will always preach, hey, maybe you don't need to buy the game the first day. Maybe wait until everything's patched over and you can enjoy the game in the way in which it's supposed to be enjoyed, right? And guess what? Along the way, while you're not playing that game, you'll find another game to love, right? Next thing you know, you're not even really worried about that game. And I think that's a really good metaphor and analogy when it comes to romance and the romantic life. Like, hey, wait and see what happens to these guys, and if it doesn't turn out like a South Park episode, because you guys remember that one, right? The one where Kyle wanted to become a tall black male, and so he got a negroplasty. It's really no different, or his father getting the dolphin plasty. It's amazing how things that we laughed about as little as 10 years ago, we saw as complete jokes, as little as 10 years ago, are now standard procedure, right? Or not really standard procedure, but being pushed into trying to be the standard procedure. And now it's become so blatant that people are really pushing back. But that's neither here nor there when it comes to my ultimate point of this video. It's just that, I talk about faith often on this channel. I talk about, having a strong personal relationship with God, at least for me. I've always had that strong, I got your back, he got my back, I will, try my best like relationship with our Father who art in heaven. And it's done me well enough-ish. I can at least say, particularly in 2023, that I'm sane, right? Or I believe myself to be sane, which is something that a crazy person would say. But when I get on women about the weave and the hair and the nails and the BBLs, which shout out to Malcolm Flex, whose video this is, whose video I'm aping right now. He called it a BBL, which is funny as shit. But seriously, we've become so accustomed to fakeness. We've become so accustomed to this facade. Guys, guess what? When you shoot that load up in her and you have a son, your son's still gonna be short. Okay? It actually reminds me of this story of the Chinese man who sued his wife because she got all this plastic surgery and they had kids and the kids was ugly as fuck. And he was like, yo, what the fuck? And then he saw pictures of her before and he was like, oh, this will not do. And so he ends up suing her. And it's like, guys, at the end of the day, it really just feeds into this delusion. It's nothing more than feeding. It's very feminine and it's very vain. And you're just feeding into this delusion that, oh yeah, well, God got it wrong, so I can go and make it right. And I can find somebody who can make it right. Because this doctor here believes himself to be a God on earth. And I'm telling you, it's just, ultimately, when it comes to such matters, I will always say I wouldn't do it. I like, if me now wouldn't do it. Me, 13, 14, 15, a bit more impressionable. I mean, I'm still more than likely waiting to see what becomes of the people that go through this for the long term, but I've just never been interested in turning myself into an experiment, but I do wish all these gentlemen the best. I hope that, you all find the loves of your life, because let's be real, this is the only reason to do this shit. That's the only reason. It's because you want more bitches, all right? More vain bitches who, guess what? If your personalities don't match and you know what the crazier part is? It's just the more that I think about it is how much of a bill and a headache and power and control that you are looking to relinquish over your very own life, particularly getting involved with, modern women, not traditional women, but modern women, getting involved with modern women, which you are aiming for, because guess what? Oh my goodness, he's tall. Yeah, sure. Come inside me and I'm going to go and get you for everything that you got, which won't be much, because I'm pretty sure that this this experiment is going to cost you a pretty penny. So, guys, I wish you the absolute best. I genuinely do. Just, man, as a compact king myself, I gotta say, I'm happy being the charming and debonair, suave gentleman that I am, and being able to bag as many chicks as I've been able to bag throughout the course of my life, just being that. Because, shit, at the end of the day, the person that you gotta live with is the one that you're looking at in the mirror every single day. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Yeah, we back on the grind. And I'll talk to you in the next one. All right? Later.